Week 13 of the DSFL 2. We begin with a Game of the Week matchup that was featured on Thursday Night Football. The Eagles traveling to Seattle to take on the Seahawks will be an epic game coming into an extra inning. 7-13 start here as we enter the fourth quarter before Jim Zorn fires a touchdown pass to take the lead. This one, Brian Blades in the back of the end zone. He spent the first half of the year injured. Now he comes back with a big touchdown, but now the Eagles need to reply here after two Seahawks field goals. It'd be a 7-point game before Tommy McDonald in the end zone, touchdown Eagles, and it's tied at 20. We enter overtime, and in overtime, the Seahawks look to win it with a deep ball on 3rd and 20. Steve Largent to get inside the Eagles' 20. He's down at the 19-yard line, and the field goal unit from the very next play is no good. He's on the right hash and fires it too far to the left. Now it's right back over to the Eagles, and they wouldn't take very long to get into the win column. And now it's 7-5. The Eagles are atop of the NFC East no matter what happens in Week 13, but they obviously are looking for losses to distance themselves in the division. The New York Jets travel to Washington to take on the 6-5 Redskins, who could tie themselves with the Eagles. They're at the top of the NFC East with a win here today at home in Washington. After two Jets field goals, it's 6-0 here late in the third quarter before Darrell Green gets an interception that gives the Redskins tremendous field position here. They start the ball at the Jets' 39, but on 2nd and 12, Sammy Baugh is sacked on the play, making it a 3rd and long, and they would miss a field goal to make it still 6-0. Later in the fourth quarter, Curtis Martin with a huge play, getting inside the Redskins' 10-yard line. 1st and goal at the 9-yard line, and on 3rd and goal, Curtis Martin finishes off the drive with a 1-yard touchdown run, and it'd be 12-0 to 1, no good. It's 12-0 here with under 2 minutes to play. Now John Riggins starts the drive with a key 4th and 1 conversion. Then on a 1st down and 10, Redskins back to the air, and they are in Jets territory. Key drive here to try to win the game, but on 3rd and 10, ball is incomplete, and on 4th down, this is the game. To the end zone, he couldn't even get the ball away. He's sacked on the play, and the Jets win in a defensive game 12-0, and the Redskins now are in deep trouble. They're 6-6. Now we go to another pivotal game in the NFC East, Dallas Cowboys against the Arizona Cardinals. And the Cowboys, with slim playoff chances, could not afford a loss today in Arizona. But starting that first half with 6 sacks, Staubach was taken on his can 6 separate times in the first half alone. It is so surprising. One of the most talented teams in football in the entire history of this franchise would literally fall apart in the first half here against a really bad Arizona team. But Larry Fitzgerald will be the one highlight. It'll be 13-0 late in the third quarter. Jason Witten starts off the Dallas comeback. It's 10-13. Cardinals only up by a field goal, but Edgerrin James puts a dagger in the heart of the Cowboys defense with a long run getting inside the Dallas 5. And now on a 1st down and goal, the Cardinals will set up shop trying to make it a 2-possession game, and they would do just that after a tip ball be caught in the end zone. And Jim Hart throws 2 touchdowns, this one a key one. And now on 3rd and 17, Staubach sacked for the 9th time in the game. That would be the final sack. That would end it for the Cowboys. Cards upset at home, 2013. Packers and the Giants, and it's crazy how every team in the NFC East has a chance to win it after Week 13, but Charles Woodson would change that as the Giants have a slim chance, now down by 2 games, to try and chase to the Eagles in a final playoff push. They need a win here at home against the Packers, but Aaron Rodgers would counter on a huge play, 7-0 Packers. But on the very next play for the Giants, Eli would connect with Hakeem Nicks, 80 yards to the house. Touchdown, New York Giants. And now it's 7 apiece here in New York, as it would be a tie game for the Giants. But after 2 Packers field goals, Tiki Barber into the end zone, and they take the lead for the first time in the game. It's 14-13 right before halftime. But I say right before halftime because the Packers counter on their very next play. How did the Giants let a guy go right down the middle of the field? A 77-yard connection right before halftime, and the New York defense gets burned on that play. And that would be the story of the entire second half. Packers up 26-14 after several field goals. Jennings, another broken tackle and another long touchdown. This one a 61-yard connection, and Rodgers hits Jennings for another score. It's 33-14. And Eli throws his 4th interception of the game, and that one seals it on a 4th and 4. And the Giants defense loses it for the Packers, but the offense doesn't do much better. Lots to blame for the New York Giants, now at 5-7 on the season. They lose 40-14, and the Packers are just a good football team, though. Eagles are looking to run away with the East. For the Buccaneers, now at 7-4, the key here in Tampa Bay at home is to keep on winning. They face the 2-9 Carolina Panthers, and early on, John Beeson with a huge interception, giving the Panthers an early field goal. But Doug Williams on a scramble would be injured on the play. He'd miss several the next few weeks, and into the game is Trent Dilfer. He's plugged in on 3rd and 16, but converts. This is Mark Carrier with a touchdown on his first catch of the game. That is a long strike to make it 7-6 Buccaneers. And then on Carrier's next reception, another long play and another touchdown, and the Buccaneers add to their lead. Dilfer to Carrier saves the Bucs in this game. They go on to win 21-13. They're now 8-4 on the season. Saints and the Lions, and after the Bucs win, New Orleans needs to do the same here at home. After a 3-0 start for the Lions, the offense converts. Boy, this offense is just a touchdown machine. They go on to win 28-11 and improve to 7-5, keeping their slim NFC South division lead hopes alive, being one game behind the hot Bucs. Bears and the Chiefs. The Chiefs have come into the year one of the worst teams that have really surprised the entire DSFL with their play here. They travel to Chicago to take on the Bears, and early on, Len Dawson would connect for a Tony Gonzalez touchdown pass at 7-0, but Chicago would counter on a 2-minute drill. They travel down the field. This Johnny Morris reception gets them into Chiefs territory. Then with under a minute to go, Luckman complete. Cavanaugh touchdown Bears, and now it's 7 apiece as we enter the halftime break. Now we transition to the 4th quarter. It's still a tie game. Here now, the Chiefs have to travel down the field to take the lead. Will they be able to do that? 2 quick completions to Bo to get into the Bears' 25. And then on a 2nd down handoff, Larry Johnson to get to the 10. But if they convert here, the game would be over. But it is short of the 1st down marker. They settle for a field goal. Chiefs lead 10-7. Now with under a minute to go on a 2nd down and 10, Luckman complete Johnny Morris, and he does not look back. This one a long touchdown. This one 74 yards, and the Bears win the game on this touchdown pass. Luckman complete, and Johnny Morris. Again, the Chicago Bears are now 9-3 on the year, and the Packers now are in trouble as the Bears are tied with them in the division. Vikings and the Broncos in Minnesota cannot afford a loss here at home to a lackluster Denver team, but they would prove the Broncos would just how good of a team they are after a lackluster middle part of the year. They would have a big win here over the Vikings after a 7-0 start. Peterson first of his 3 fumbles on the day. Ricky Jackson with the fumble recovery. And now the Packers and Bears are tied to 9-3 in their division. Broncos still lackluster in the West. Raiders traveled to Miami to take on the Dolphins, and Miami has dropped 4 of their last 6 games and cannot afford to lose yet again. It'd be 5 of their last 7 if they lose here today in Miami at home, but an early touchdown by Ricky Williams in the 2nd quarter makes it 7-0 Dolphins. But right before halftime, Kenny Stabler and the Raiders would respond. And for the Miami defense, with 22 seconds to go, how could you let an early and easy touchdown there right before halftime to tie it at 7? At least let them settle for a field goal to make it 7-3. And now after a touchdown, it's 14-7. The Raiders have really come back on the Dolphins, and this is just another example of the Dolphins showing tremendous success early on, but cannot finish games late. Cliff Branch with another touchdown, 21-7. But then again, right when the Dolphins look to be out of it, with Kenny Stabler another touchdown, this would be when the Dolphins would respond with under 2 minutes to go. Is it too little, too late? We'll have to wait and see. A big connection with Marshall to get inside the 8 here. and now Marshall on the touchdown reception to make it 24-14. So now the Dolphins are not out of it just yet. They do need an onside kick, however, but the ball would travel out of bounds. And with one timeout, the Dolphins cannot stop the Raiders, and that'll do it. They lose by a touchdown. Titans travel to Buffalo to take on the Bills, and Buffalo could move the game out in front in the AFC South after 13 weeks, but the Titans would prove hard to beat after a 3-0 score. Brazile with the recovery, and the Titans on a 3rd and goal from the 6 would convert that into points. Drake Wycheck to make it 7-3 here midway through the second quarter. Now we transition over to all of the Bills' miscues. They would miss a field goal here. That would make it a 1-point game, but it's a no-good try, and now Kelly would be sacked here right before halftime. And now on a 4th and 6, they go for it, and Kelly is no good on the conversion. 3 miscues that would prove very costly for the Bills midway through the 4th quarter. Now we go. And on a 3rd down and 8 to seal the game, the Titans would be unable to do so. The offense fails again. But now on a 4th down and 4, the Bills need a drive, and it would start with Lofton. A nice conversion. Now on 2nd down and 4, Kelly to the air, Andre Reed to get into Titans territory. Now 2nd down and 9, Kelly looking, throwing to the right sideline, and it is out of bounds, complete. 2nd and 3 with 30 seconds to go, touchdown Bills! And now the Bills are out in front by a field goal, and the Titans have to respond here after a big play by Buffalo. Now McNair is looking. Can the offense provide one final spark? No, they cannot. 0's on the clock, and the Titans lose. And the Bills move on to 8-4 on the year. 10-7 your final. Rams travel to San Francisco to take on the 49ers, and the Rams really could do help in the NFC West and in the overall playoff picture with a win here today. But in the 3rd quarter, after a 3-0 start, you cannot fumble the football in your own side of the field, especially on the Niners. They will take advantage. A touchdown by the San Francisco 49ers, their only touchdown of the day. That would make it 7-3. And another fumble. Dickerson, you've got to hang on to the rock. And that one would lead to a field goal. And now the Rams would be incomplete on 3rd down, settle for a field goal, and never see the ball again. Niners improve to an impressive 11-1 mark. They win 10-6 over the Rams. Falcons and the Houston Texans / Oilers mix of teams, and this ball club could improve to 10-2 in the entire DSFL, an impressive winning streak. It'd be something like 7 to 8 games for this Texans squad with a win here today at home over the Falcons, and early on it would look to prove that way as Brian Cushing, after a 7-0 start, one-handed pick, nice interception by the linebacker there, proving his wide receiver hands. They're getting in front of the pass. It's 7-0, and after a Warren Moon scramble, 14-0, Houston goes on to win easily over the Atlanta Falcons, and now they are 10-2 on the year. Final matchup of the afternoon, the Colts travel to New England to take on the Patriots, and early on, the Colts would convert their opening drive into points. Reggie Wayne on the receiving end of a nice 15-yard touchdown connection. It's 7-0 Colts, and the story for the DSFL for the Patriots has been Tom Brady and his, count it, 19 interceptions on the year. Just a terrible mark for Tom Brady. And for the Colts, we go to their story of the year. It has been Marvin Harrison and his, count it, 10 touchdown receptions. It's now 14-0. Colts win easy over the Patriots, who are now really bad in the AFC East. Now here's a look at the DSFL standings after Week 13, including the Steelers in their division. The AFC North is all theirs. Now they're looking for the first seed in the AFC. The Bills, Texans, and the Raiders lead their divisions in the AFC and in the NFC. It's all about Green Bay, but we still have teams like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Eagles, and the 11-1 Niners that are leading their respective divisions. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.